Welcome to the channel. It is a Thursday evening and I am super excited. I just got home from work and I found that the Prinsu Roof rack I ordered has been delivered, and so has the Blue Eddy AC 180. So I was planning on waiting to unbox this and put this together until the weekend. However, we got a good amount of snow out here, which means there's even a ton more snow in the mountains. So I'm gonna go ahead and just unbox this, put this together. Hopefully I can at least put it together tonight so that tomorrow I can mount it on the rooftop, on the roof of the FJ, get my sky camper on there, as well as my awning, so that I can go out this weekend. I'm super excited that it came early. In fact, I ordered the Prinsu Roof rack about 2 weeks ago, and they said they had a 5-week lead time. So they under-promised and over-delivered, which I am thrilled about. So I'm gonna go ahead and just unbox this and put this thing together. As I was unboxing it, I realized I didn't want to lay these beautiful parts on the hard concrete where it gets scratched up. So I just went ahead and dug up an old utility blanket I have laying in my basement. I'm gonna put this down and put that roof rack in the order it's supposed to be in. So I went ahead and unboxed everything. It appears all of the parts are accounted for. I'm super excited about that. It's gonna make this whole thing move a lot smoother and a lot faster. So there's a lot of ways to go about this, but I prefer to go through all of the different hardware, which I already did. And I'm now just gonna stage everything where it belongs. So I'm gonna start off with mounting the crossbars to the actual side rails. So I'm just gonna stage all of my pieces, and then I'll come around and actually start bolting everything on. So staging is complete. Right next to each crossbar is the mounting hardware. So each crossbar is outfitted with 2 washers and 2 bolts. So all across the entire roof rack. So just these small details just make the process go a lot smoother and a lot faster. Okay, I'm now going to apply some thread lock to each bolt and lightly, just gently put them in. I'm not going to torque it down all the way. And you definitely want to be careful with using an impact drill, impact driver, just because you can very easily strip the thread off these bolts. They're very small, so you want to be super careful with it. I was getting a little uncomfortable, so I went ahead and changed. I have the heater running here, so it's a lot warmer. I'll be able to work a lot better. So I went ahead and lifted the rack on. Everything is put together. I tightened everything down and I lifted it up. And the next part we're going to be assembling is the wind deflector. Just like we did earlier on, first thing is opening up the bags with the hardware and organizing everything. So the wind deflector comes with 12 screws, 12 washers, as well as these. I don't even know what to call these, but they reciprocate and they receive the screws. They also come with the actual rubber fitting that goes on the wind deflector, and of course the crossbar that the wind deflector mounts to. So there are a number of ways you can do this, but for me, I think the easiest way to do is get one screw with the washer, right? And then we're gonna just loosely fit it on, screw it on like that. So the screw is going to screw into this receiver right there, just a little bit, okay? And I'll show you why we want to screw it just a little bit and not entirely, okay? To not tighten it. Now that I loosely fit all the hardware, so the screws are loosely fit into the receiving end, I'm aligning these so that they'll slide in perfectly into this crossbar. The crossbars, you can tell, have a receiving end. They're a little hollow so that this can slide right in there. So just like that, and then go ahead and slide them through. Okay, there we go. Again, there are lots of different ways to do this, but I think this is easiest for me. Okay, and there we go. So that is in there perfectly. Now, only thing that's left to do at this point is just tighten. Go ahead and make sure it's aligned first off. You don't want the crossbar to be visible, right? You don't want it hanging out from one side and not symmetrical. But now that that's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and now just tighten these ends. It would be faster if you had an impact driver or something like that, but frankly, I just prefer to hand tighten them because
I would hate to strip the thread off the screws or over torque it. So yeah, I'm completely fine with doing it by hand. Okay, then the final part now for the wind deflector is just, so I kind of cheated. So I already cut this to the length of the wind deflector, okay? You're gonna need something pretty sharp and pretty hard as well, because there is some, I think there's aluminum in there. So keep that in mind. But now I'm just gonna go ahead and insert it like so. Kind of have to put some force to it. It's really snug, which is a good thing, right? Because the alternative is for it to be really loose and potentially fly off as you're driving. So we don't want that. Okay, and just like that, she is done. Nice and snug in there. It's going to be like that, right? Now the next thing is I'm gonna go ahead and lower the roof rack, put it on the ground again, and then I'm gonna attach the wind deflector to the roof rack from the crossbars. Again, much like the other crossbars, it just has 2 screws that you thread in there and it'll be secure. So the wind deflector is gonna sit right there. Not quite on the floor, but you get what I mean. Okay. I'm just going ahead and tightening everything up. Make sure it's nice and snug. And I am almost all the way there. All that's left now is to go ahead and fit it onto the FJ, and we'll be good to go. Now, finally, the roof rack and mounting the new roof rack to the roof. So, first thing I need to do is obviously take off the old roof rack that comes with the FJ Cruiser. Now, that's gonna be quite a challenge, okay? More often than not, you're actually gonna strip the threads of the bolts that the roof rack go into. So come with me and take a look. So in the back over here, you're gonna see pretty clearly, right? So the roof rack mounts, there are 2 screws, right, that mount and go into the roof, okay? So first thing you need to do is remove the bolts, okay? The FJ Cruiser comes with the bolts that take a T44 Allen key. It's extremely important that you use the right size Allen key, or else you're gonna strip the thread off of those bolts. Frankly, this car is just super old, okay? The latest known model in North America was 2014, which is about 11 years old. So altogether, just trying to take off that roof rack presents a challenge, because you're gonna strip them regardless. Even if you use the right one, you're gonna strip them. when I was removing the roof rack, I stripped 4 of these, and so I had to go underneath there, open the FJ, remove the headliner, so drop the headliner, then go in there and actually cut the screws off, and then take it out. Okay. Now that being said, when you do that, you're going to most likely need, well, you're going to need new parts. Okay. So let me give you an example. So this is what the actual bolts mount into. So this goes underneath in there, and then the bolts go in there. Okay. This is damaged. This is what it should look like. However, the plastic part is damaged, right? So most people end up ordering new parts. And moreover, I'm also missing a retention clip that holds it in place. People end up ordering new parts. To be frank, it's only like gonna cost you like 36 bucks, so it's not crazy expensive. But I prefer to not spend any more money. So what I did is, I just held the same one, okay? Just put some silicone in there, and then just, you need to hold it in again after the roof rack is dropped, and then hold it in and drop the bolts in there, and then screw it on that way. You can do it with all of them, and it will save you however 36 times 3 is, right? So it's going to save you a good bit of money, in my opinion. So you do not need to order new parts. You also do not need to order the new retention clip, as long as you just have one person underneath there and one person on top, which, by the way, I actually did the whole thing by myself. So I think you can totally do it. Okay. All in all, it was a successful project, and I hope this was helpful for you. I especially made this video just because I couldn't find a lot of information on the internet. So I had a lot of trial and error, especially with removing the old roof rack and installing a new one. So I hope some of this information is going to be helpful to you. And I'll keep an eye out on the comment section. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be glad to talk you through whatever. And please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it.